Welcome to the Anti Noise Experience, a podcast, endurance, noise, and random musings. It is Thursday, September 3rd, 2020, here in Bakersfield, California, 9 o'clock at night, and on with Endurance Noise Daily. Jonathan Galt announces some bad news. Division One men's track and field program has been cut at William & Mary. They will be discontinuing men's indoor and outdoor track after the 2021 academic year. Men's and women's gymnastics, men's and women's swimming, and women's volleyball are also being cut basically out of concerns, with the COVID and all that kinds of stuff. They're going to be losing the team. It sounds at least they're going to have cross country, and their cross country team has actually been pretty good. It's made NCAAs 26 times and was fifth as recently as 2009, but they haven't made an NCAA XC since 2010. And cutting track, of course, is not going to help. If you go on the website and read about William & Mary, it says that at least it's at least the 24th Division One school to cut a program or more since COVID-19 outbreak in March. University has previously implemented cost-cutting measures, included voluntary salary reductions for football coach, basketball coach, and women's basketball coach. I didn't even know they had football teams in basketball, but that's how it is going. Track and field is definitely getting deleted all over the place here in Bakersfield. Cal State Bakersfield has a track team. They have a women's cross country team, but they don't even have a men's cross country team because it's Title IX and trying to make it all balanced. Kind of sucks. This weekend, Mofar and Bashir Abdu are going to go after the 1 hour world record attempts. And they actually, Jonathan Gold posted their playlist. There's going to be some Eminem and Kanane. And both athletes actually hail from Mogadishu, Somalia. We're going to have simulated crowd noise, which I've noticed they've been doing that at the Diamond League meets as well. Podium runner posted something that's pretty interesting. 4 amazing runners have broken 3 hours in the marathon during every decade since the 70s. That's 6 decades. Jim Miller is the latest, having to create his own marathon to do it. And here's how they kept going fast. And I often say I started running at 79, so I get to go 70s, 80s, 90s, O's, 10s, and 20s. So I am in my 6th decade of doing a marathon in every decade. But, I in the 70s, I ran 3:01, my first marathon when I was 16. In the 80s, I was under 3 hours quite a bit. Probably the 90s, 4 hours. The O's in 5 hours, and the 10s in under six, and the 20s under seven, because more and more I don't run. I've been walking. It says that Miller had to set up his own little race. He ran 2:53:59 at a small race out in Burlington, Vermont, and with 13 other athletes. He is the fourth known runner to have run sub-3 marathons in the 70s, 80s, 90s, O's, 10s, and 20s. 41 runners have achieved the 5 decades. It says that he's the oldest by a small margin. Clocks in at 43 years, 77. Yeah, from his first to his most recent. Wow, 43 years separated. I know there's a list somewhere on the internet that lists the greatest age difference between your first 100-mile finish and your latest 100-mile finish. And of course, guys were running them in the 20s, and some of those guys, speaking of that, are running at the um, Race Against Time, which starts up and you get an hour for your age. And so some guys in their 70s and 80s are probably finishing up hundreds. More sad news: the 2020 World Mountain Running Championships have been canceled. They're talking about Boston Marathon. This is about the time when most of my athletes that have qualified are all talking about putting in their applications to run Boston. However, it looks as though they are postponing registration because they don't really know what's going to happen. The race is scheduled for April 19th, 2021, but we shall see. And of course, Japan, the Tokyo Marathon, is already considering moving to the fall. So if that happens, Boston would be the first major in 2021. So stay tuned. Um, Along with the men's running the hour, there's also the women are going to be running. Sifan Hassan, who won an amazing 1,500, 10,000 double at the World Championships, is running in the hour race. And Brigid Kosgei, who ran that 2:14 marathon world record in Chicago, is also running. So pretty exciting stuff.